Remember playing Snake and Ladder as a kid? It's a classic board game. You roll a dice, move your piece, and hope to climb ladders and avoid snakes. Now imagine creating that game yourself using the C programming language. That's what we're going to do. This project is a fun way to learn about programming concepts. These concepts are important for many different types of software. C is a powerful language for beginners. It might seem a little old-fashioned, but learning C is like learning the basics of cooking before using fancy kitchen gadgets. Once you understand C, other languages will be easier to grasp. Plus, you'll be able to create more efficient and faster programs. In this project, we'll break down the game into smaller, manageable parts. We'll start by simulating a dice roll. Then, we'll code how players move on the board. Finally, we'll put it all together with a main game loop. Ready to code your own game? Let's get started. The first step is to simulate the roll of a dice. In programming, we can't just toss a physical dice. We need a way to generate random numbers within a specific range. In C, we can use the function for this purpose. The function generates a random number, but it's usually a very large number. We need to make it fit within the range of 1 to 6, just like a real dice. To do this, we use the modulo operator, int roll dice. This code defines a function called. When we call this function, it generates a random number between 1 and 6. The at the end ensures that the result is never 0. We'll use this function later to determine how many spaces the player moves. Remember, random number generators in computers aren't truly random. They need a starting point called a seed. We'll talk more about that later. For now, just know that this function gives us our dice roll. Now that we can roll the dice, we need to move the player's position on the board. This is where the function comes in. This function takes the current position of the player and the dice roll as input. Int move player, int current position, int dice roll. Inside this function, we add the dice roll to the player's current position. But there's a catch. We need to handle the snakes and ladders. If the player lands on the head of a snake, they slide down to its tail. If they land at the bottom of a ladder, they climb up. To implement this, we can use conditional statements, and we'll define the positions of snakes and ladders on the board. Then the function will check if the new position matches any of these special positions. If it does, the player's position is updated accordingly. With the dice rolling and player movement in place, it's time to create the main game loop. This loop is the heart of our game, controlling everything from player turns to checking for a winner. While game over == 0, the loop keeps the game running until a certain condition is met, like a player reaching the final square. Inside the loop, we'll call our AND functions. We'll also need to switch between players, display the game board, and check if anyone has won. To determine the winner, we'll simply check if a player's position has reached the final square on the board. Once a winner is declared, we can congratulate them and end the game. This is a basic outline of the main game loop. We can enhance it further by adding more features like displaying messages, allowing players to input their names, or even implementing a multiplayer mode. The possibilities are endless.